your ugly bald head.
That's right, baby. Girls love it.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to Big Pick 4, the show where the NFL picking experts, Danny D and Brian B, give you the best 4 picks for NFL Sunday games. 2 include the guarantees, the big Danny D guarantee and the big Brian B guarantee. All right, recap. We had an NFL. I'm showing up on the screen right now that we picked the Saints, Cardinals, guaranteed Danny D, Steelers, Brian B, and the Bills. The only game that was a win was the Cardinals, who blew out the Rams.
Yep.
Go figure. So all the other games were a loss. None of them were that you made the right pick and they didn't cover. They were all outright losses. The Bills almost scraped up to that underdog cover on the Chiefs, but they didn't quite get there. I think they were like 1.5 shy.
Yeah. Bryce Brown fumbled the ball out of the end zone for a touchback, which would have put them over and they would have covered. The Pittsburgh just didn't show up against the Jets at all. That was a horrible game. Oh my God, I bankrupted the country at that one after I bet Fort Knox on it. Oh
yeah, you bet Fort Knox on that. So actually, we're now owned by the Russians and the North Koreans right now.
Yeah, right. I mean, that was just horrible. I don't. They didn't play it till the last 7 minutes of the game. If they played that way the whole game, they would have blown out the Jets. That was horrid.
So the headline today said that Rex Ryan won a game, but he lost $100,000 for his expletive-riddled rant at the end of the game.
Yeah. He started cursing because of some cheap shot by the Pittsburgh safety, Mike Mitchell. They were kneeling, and he jumped over the pile trying to hit the quarterback. So,
which was completely outrageous.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. Like, you lost. Give it up.
So, I mean, you don't torpedo the quarterback on a victory formation.
No,
that's not acceptable.
No, you just stand there and wait for him to be done and just shake hands and go home. So that was bad. And
I fully support Rex Ryan on his reaction to that bullshit.
Sure, I agree with him, even though he's going to be fired anyway. But yeah, I mean, he was right to be upset. It was bad. That was really unprofessional. And as for the other game, New Orleans got screwed at the end by the officials, so they should have covered in that game.
That wasn't black and white. I mean, the guy was pushed, and the guy did a little antics, a little soccer fall, but still, you can't push the guy out of the way.
I don't care. There were still 2 guys covering him on that play, and the official has to swallow his whistle at the end of the game. I don't care unless it's something egregious, like a punch or a trip or whatever, some horrific play.
Or someone pushing the defensive back down.
He barely touched him. The guy just flopped on the ground, and there were still 2 guys covering him. There were still 2 guys covering him for the 49ers, and he still caught the ball. It should have been a touchdown. That was awful. Awful officiating.
I think he pushed him down. I think he pushed him down.
He touched him with 3 fingers. And this 220-pound guy just fell right to the ground. Are you kidding me? That was ridiculous. He just flopped.
No, go back to your physics. The guy it may have been 3 fingers, but when you've got the speed going, the momentum going, at the end of the game, if you're at your limit, it may only take 3 more fingers to push you down.
No.
Because you've got all the momentum behind you already going in that direction. It's not like he was standing there in an elevator and he got pushed down.
No, it's ridiculous.
For the end zone. So, yeah, maybe that was all it took was the last 3 fingers.
No. I mean, the guy still played the overtime, so no, I don't buy any of that. You're talking about challenging penalties. That should have been challenged if they could challenge that last week. That was ridiculous. You could clearly see the guy just flopped. He knew he was going to get a call.
There wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call on the field, even if it had been challenged.
Well, you can't challenge it. It's a penalty.
No, but I'm saying even if you could have challenged it, there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it.
I think there was. In slow motion, you could see the guy just doing a whole total flop. I'm sorry.
I think he flopped at the end, but he got pushed at the beginning.
They just called it because he fell to the ground. They wouldn't have called it if he didn't fall. They would have called nothing. on that play. If he just moved like a foot, they wouldn't have called it. They shouldn't have called it anyway. I thought that was terrible officiating.
So if that play had changed around, then you would have won another game.
Yes, we would have won another game. The other two were just lost causes. Pittsburgh was awful, and Buffalo.
So what happened to the Steelers? I mean, you haven't talked about that.
I don't know. I have no idea. They've lost to the 1-win Buccaneers, and they lost to the 2-win Jets. Those teams are combined 3-16 this season. How does that happen? I just don't understand how they played so poorly in that game. They played down to their competition. What's funny is, I think they gave up 17 points in the first quarter, and they give up 3 the rest of the game, and they still don't win. I don't know how that happens. I just did it. Roethlisberger finally woke up in the fourth quarter at the end, saying, "Oh yeah, this is the Jets."
Well, maybe Michael Vick's making a comeback here.
You know what he did too? He threw the coaches under the bus after the game, saying that they should have started him from the beginning and they would have won more games. You can't do that.
And how about Sanchez coming out last week?
Right? Yeah, he did a nice job. He's finally playing with a head coach that's an offensive head coach, and he has better players around him than he ever had in New York. So I think that helps a lot when he had more support. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar, but I just think he can have a chance to be competent.
Well, I think Sanchez. People don't know it yet, but I think he is the next Charlie Batch.
I think he's a little better than Charlie Batch. I don't know how that guy survived for like 20 years in the league. That was incredible. No, this guy was.
I mean, it's amazing. He really did.
He did. I mean, he was some unknown guy. I don't know if he was even drafted, but he lasted forever.
But he could step in and win a playoff game. That's an amazing thing about him.
Yeah, it was amazing. But Sanchez was a top 5 pick in the draft. He should have some more talent than Charlie Batch.
I mean, that Eastern Michigan just breeds quarterbacks.
Yeah, right. Eastern Michigan.
There's something in the water out there. I don't know what it is.
Go Chippewas.
Chippewas. All right, so we got Chippewa.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no, not another one of those damn schools.
Hey, at least it's named after an actual tribe.
Yeah.
By the way, you see who's throwing the spear down for the Florida State game next week? I think it is. It's Burt Reynolds.
Throwing the spear down.
They have a spear they set on fire and they throw it into the middle of the field on their emblem before every home game, and Burt Reynolds is going to do it.
What does he have to do with the Florida team?
Nothing. He's from Florida. So they got Burt Reynolds.
Will Lonnie Anderson be there too?
I don't think so. I don't think she has anything to do with Burt Reynolds. Lonnie Anderson. Oh, man.
Is he going to ride out in the golf cart with Muhammad Ali too?
They'll have Muhammad Ali is going to drive
out in the golf cart.
He's going to drive Burt Reynolds out in the golf cart.
Yeah, Muhammad's going to drive Burt Reynolds out.
It's terrible. Poor Muhammad Ali.
No, but that's what happens with the estate and everything. It gets all screwed up with them. Wasn't that like Weekend at Bernie's with Casey Kasem's body? They were driving it all over the place, and
I don't think it was Casey Kasem.
Trying to hide it.
I think it was somebody else. Casey Kasem.
No, it was Casey Kasem.
No, that really
Just
happened
recently.
to Casey Kasem.
Where the daughter won a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And then the second wife takes the body and drives off with it and hides it somewhere.
They found it, I think.
Yeah, and then they eventually find it.
Poor guy. That was terrible.
We're not sure what happened to him since then, but apparently they found him.
I think they found him and he had a proper funeral.
Doesn't that sound like a Weekend at Bernie's scenario, though?
Yeah, it does.
It's like
Weekend at Bernie's. And they made a second one. I don't know how that happened. Would they dig him up and use him again? I mean, how stupid is that?
Weekend at Bernie's too.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe it was Bernie's revenge.
How's that work?
I don't know.
All right, so let's do the combined pick. Week 11, number 1, Danny D.
All right, my combined pick is Atlanta at Carolina. Carolina's awful. Everyone saw that horrific Monday night performance. Their offensive line can't block anybody. Their defense just kind of gave up in the middle of the game. Cam Newton has some injury issues because his mobility has been severely retarded by these ankle and knee problems that he has. He couldn't move at all. The Eagles just teed off on him, and he didn't go anywhere. He just stood in the pocket. He had no mobility. I mean, I understand he doesn't want to run and do that kind of stuff, but he couldn't just even move in the pocket just slightly, just to get enough time to throw the ball. It doesn't help that Jason Avant and Jericho Cottrell are on that team. They stink. They cannot get off press coverage. They cannot get open. They don't have any speed, and they're awful. They only have 2 good players, Olsen and Benjamin. Their running game is no good. Those guys are done. Their offensive line is a disaster. So while I do think Atlanta stinks too, that entire division stinks, but I think Atlanta is going to win this game. It's a -1 for Atlanta. The opener actually started at a +2.5 for Atlanta, went down to a -1 as the week went on, according to SBR form, the form I printed out this morning. Anyway, so I'll go with Atlanta. I think their offense is pretty good. Their defense stinks, but I don't think it matters because Carolina just can't do anything offensively. They got a couple of garbage touchdowns against the Eagles, making their score look better, but they were thoroughly destroyed. Cam Newton's making poor decisions. It seems like he only looks at his first read, and then if that's covered up, he doesn't know what to do, and he's been sacked, and he can't run anymore. So because that was his first instinct instead of reading the reads. But as I said, when you have Cottrell and Avant there, there's nothing to throw to. So for those reasons, and I guess they looked okay against Tampa last week, even though I still don't trust Atlanta. But I'd go with Atlanta this week just because I think Carolina is a defeated team that's in big trouble.
Well, but is Cam Newton regressing? I've heard that instead of developing as a potential franchise quarterback, he's regressing. And I'm not just talking about, he's injured, my ankle, like RG3 bullshit.
Yeah, well, part of it is the team's fault. They got rid of most of the receivers from last year. And they brought in these 2 clowns, Avant and Cottrell, who just don't play very well. They got rid of Brandon LaFell, who's a serviceable receiver, and they got rid of Steve Smith, who had a good first 6-7 games with Baltimore. It's kind of fallen off lately. But if you'd put Steve Smith, Kelvin Benjamin, Greg Olsen, and Brandon LaFell on that team, they might have had a pretty good offense. I mean, they might need a running back. Those guys aren't good, but their passing game would be pretty formidable. But they got rid of everybody. And they bring in these 2 old guys who can't run, can't get open, and which doesn't help. It cuts off half the field. If you can't throw to one side of the field, they can just double cover everybody else, and it really destroys your passing game. I mean, I think the injuries are a big part of this, of his regression, because he can't move in the pocket. Even if he doesn't run, he just can't move just to get out of the way. They can't do rollouts. They can't do a lot of things offensively.
But who is the whack job that was having mental problems before Cam Newton?
What do you mean?
Oh, the quarterback. Wasn't he for the Panthers too? That would... who the hell am I thinking about? He was they had high hopes for him when he came into the league, and then he had all kinds of mental problems. He was like paralleling Michael Vick. Like he had all types of personal problems. And
Ryan Leaf?
No, black guy.
Because he went nuts after he was picked. He went crazy and he sold drugs and he did a lot of bad stuff.
No, the black guy. I swear, who was the Panthers quarterback before Cam Newton?
They had Jake Delhomme. They had
Vince Young, right? Is that who I'm talking about?
No, he went with Tennessee, but yeah, he kind of went nuts.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm thinking about Vince Young.
Yeah, you're right. He was a top pick. I think he was pick number 2 or 3.
Yeah, he was a top pick. He had high hope, and he just went to shit in a handbasket.
Yeah. Well, part of it was, I think, his skills were made to look better than they really were in college, just because he can get away with a lot more because the players aren't as good. He was able to run around and do stuff. He's not really a polished passer at all. And eventually it caught up to him in the NFL. His legs gave out on him, so he couldn't run like he used to, which happens with most running quarterbacks. And he wasn't a proficient passer. And it destroyed him. He was not very good. He never worked on his game. His mechanics were awful from beginning to end. And that's why he was never very successful.
So what's going on with Cam Newton now? Aren't we seeing a Vince Young parallel here with Cam Newton?
Somewhat. His mechanics are starting to regress. John Gruden was talking about that.
I hear people experts are not a big fan of his mechanics.
But part of it, I think, is the injuries. He can't plant properly because of the ankle and leg problems that he has, and rib problems. He can't throw properly. I think he's injured. It's like a pitcher. If you're a pitcher and you have one injury, it can start making other injuries because you're compensating for that injury. And I think the same thing works with quarterbacks. I don't understand why they kept him in that game last week. He got his ass kicked, but the coach wouldn't take him out. And Gruden was going crazy. He's like, why is he still in the game? This is stupid. They need to give up and get ready for Atlanta next week because they're still in a division race because New Orleans lost. There's no winning team in that entire division.
Why can't we just give Cam Newton some of this Tommy John surgery? He's out for like half a season. He comes back and...
Well, he doesn't need that.
No, but I mean, baseball needs it. Why the hell can't the
Because
quarterback
he didn't rip the ligament in his elbow.
You never know. It might help.
It's only used as ligament replacement surgery. They take a ligament from your leg and they place it in your arm because you broke the one in your arm.
Yeah, but women that get breast augmentation don't necessarily need it. So maybe we need to go out front with this Tommy John.
That's a selective surgery. Tommy John surgery is selective. It's not supposed to be. Even though some
maybe that'll make you like Bionic Man, like some of these pictures.
Some high school kids actually tried to do it again, elective surgery like that, but doctors stopped doing it because you're just not supposed to do that. And it's not Newton's problem. His arm is fine. It's really his ribs and it's his legs. Running takes a toll on your legs, and that's what's starting to get him, or his legs. He needs to have some mobility. I understand he's not going to run for 100 yards again, but he needs to be able to move in the pocket.
Well, he's a huge guy, right?
It's
just like...
But
yeah.
You need to be able to move a little bit in the pocket so that you take less hits, and maybe it helps your receivers get open because you're moving around and causes defenses to change. And he can't do that. And it's really hurting the team. And they have nobody else. Who are they going to play? Anderson, whatever his name is, they have there. He's awful. I think they have big problems there. Greg Hardy's situations kind of beat them up. Their secondary is all hurt. Their running backs stink. They have a lot of problems.
Yeah, but where is Atlanta at in standings right now?
Oh, they're awful too. They're right there with Carolina. They're 3-6. They're not good. They're not good. But I have to say is that I think they play harder.
Oh, but they can beat the Patriots.
No, they didn't play the Patriots.
Oh, wait. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
I'm not the Patriots. I'm sorry, the freaking Buccaneers.
Yeah, well, I think everybody beats the Buccaneers except for the Steelers. But
that's it. Kind of hangs their hat on. They can beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying, I think Carolina gave up. Atlanta hasn't given up, really, in any game. They've lost some close games. Carolina just gives up. And, if Atlanta takes an early lead, Carolina's going to give up again. So I have no faith in them. I mean, generally, I have no faith in either team. If Atlanta was playing somebody else, I would pick against them. But in this situation, I think they're the lesser of the two bad teams. They're lesser evil.
So there you have your guarantee. Week 11, number 1, picking Atlanta.
No, he doesn't.
Now for our second combined pick, Week 11, Brian B.
All right, for the second combined pick for Week 11, I'm gonna go with
San Francisco.
San Francisco. All right, San Francisco they're -3.5. They're at New York. The 49ers are getting Alden Smith back, which is a huge lift for their pass rush.
Alvin.
I said Alden Smith. Also, The 49ers played really well last week. They beat the Saints, who hadn't lost at home in almost 2 years. It was a huge win. Their defense looked good, and I think Kaepernick played a pretty good game. And I think last game, too, they started to go back to the run game more. They started to more runs, and it was a good balance.
Mm-hmm. They used Hyde more.
Yeah, they used Carlos Hyde more. I just think, and also the fact that the Giants just played, they've got blown out by the Seahawks. They got blown out by the Eagles. The Giants don't look very
Dallas.
good. They got blown. Well, I think they only lost by 10.
Whatever, still.
Yeah, so I think the Giants are kind of folding the 10 up for the season. I just see that this game, I think 3.5 is a good cover. It's a low number. I just think for all those reasons that you should go put your money on San Francisco at -3.5. They are a road favorite.
And the Giants defensive coordinator put a hex on the team. He guaranteed a victory this week.
Yep, Harry Fuel, yeah.
Yes, so
that's the old.
Just for that, they deserve to lose.
That's the old Howard Eskin curse.
Yeah, right. The Stone Cold Mortal Lock.
Stone Cold Mortal Lock.
Yeah, that moron. What's his name? Fuel, who just looked stupid on the sideline last week. Look at me, my defense is great, and he was smiling the whole time. It was weird.
But it's funny too because commentators have been listening to NFL Network all week, and they're all saying how important it is to have Aldon Smith back for the 49ers, how much it's going to improve their team having that pass rush.
Oh, yeah, I agree. He's a big factor.
Big key to that team.
Yeah, definitely. That's very true.
Ledeno studena kamenica. Mažete, знаят защо.
Welcome back for week 11. Are you for real?
Like the 80s, those are Miami Vice or something like
Yeah.
Danny D.
All right, my you for real are the ridiculous officials at the end of that New Orleans-San Francisco game who actually called a penalty flag at the end of that game. They decided the game. That's completely unethical. Well, what are you doing? You're an official. You're supposed to put your whistle away, lose your flag, and just shut up and let whatever happen instead of calling some ridiculous acting attempt by the defensive back who was slightly touched by Jimmy Graham and fell to the ground and acted like he'd just been mugged by
three Divots.
Yeah, by like 4 guys. Then he got raped afterwards. I mean, it was just ridiculous that they called that. You can't call penalty at the end of a game in an end of game situation like that. I find it's just horrible. They did that in Cincinnati too with Steve Smith. Yeah. The defensive back did a somersault in the air and landed on his face as if when Steve Smith just touched him slightly.
Steve Mariucci was on NFL Network and said it was a Vlade Divac. It was like Vlade Divac.
It was horrible
from the NBA.
It was such a hard. You cannot make that call at that time. It's just unreasonable and ridiculous. And I had to call out those officials for doing that.
And it's almost like he was penalized for being big too. Like,
yeah, I know.
Bigger and stronger than everybody else.
He was just trying to gain position. I just don't understand. So
it's not like he grabbed him and then threw him down.
No, he didn't. To me, that's my you for real for this week. That was ridiculous.
I heard that that guy was a former basketball player, the guy that did the fall.
Yeah, he was at the guy trying to catch the ball played at University of Miami.
No, the guy who fell, nobody knows about him.
Yeah,
no, the guy who fell, he learned that from playing basketball.
No, he never played maybe.
He's trying to make a joke. He's trying to make a joke.
Yeah, did he play basketball at
No, I heard that. No, I'm dead serious. I heard that the guy that did basketball
did he play on the Army team?
Dan, you played, didn't you?
No, I'm sorry you guys don't know your sports
right?
like I do, but I'm telling you, the guy had played basketball at a high level, and they said that he probably picked it up from that.
You're just making that up. You just
pulled
that out of his head.
No, I'm not making it up,
Not only did he play Army, he also coached the team, too.
Scott O'Haron was the mascot.
That's right. He was the ass part of the mascot.
Part of the mule.
That's right, the horse. Or is that the goat?
No, he read the mule. He really did. It was a mule. It was an Army mule.
That's right. Him and Mule have a good time in the barn afterwards, after every win. Eating their oats together.
Well, when you find out how wrong you are, suck it.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, he played basketball when he was 7 and 3rd grade. Yeah, you look up his AAU team.
Oh yeah, He played basketball with an apple bushel nailed to the wall with the bottom cut out.
I mean, a basket.
A basketball made of wadded up newspapers wrapped in masking tape.
He put some rubber ball inside so it bounced.
All right, you for real, Brian B.
All right, mine.
I was dreaming, someone came and set my heart on fire. Open my eyes and there you were with me. I was rocking in your arms until the morning.
Let's have it.
All right, mine. Are you for real? It's 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Week 11 is Casey Matthews. He's a linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now I understand when you have injuries, somebody has to step up. And Casey Matthews is now the starting middle linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles because D'Amico Ryans is out. But my are you for real is why is he even on the team? The scouts suck. Howie Roseman for putting him on the team is horrible. Chip Kelly for not getting rid of him, that's just terrible. I was actually watching just him on many of the plays, and there was one play where he actually tried to go after the tight end, got beat like 40 yards down the field for a huge play. On another play, he tripped and fell on his own feet. And almost every other play on running plays, he was getting pushed 8 yards back. He's awful. He shouldn't even be in an NFL team. Canadian football, maybe. I don't even know if a Canadian football team would take him. But the joke that me and Dan like to use is that Philadelphia always gets the wrong brother. So he's Clay Matthews' brother. So we got the wrong Matthews. If you go all the way back to baseball, we got the wrong DiMaggio. Who's
wrong DiMaggio, the wrong Giambi, the wrong Leiter. There's some other guy. The wrong Wilkins. We got Joe Wilkins instead of Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah. Who's Leiter? We got the wrong Leiter.
Wrong Leiter. We got both Shen brothers, and they both stink.
Yeah, we always see in Philly's curse. We always get the wrong brother.
And I might add, on a local television show, Casey Matthews was praised by a Hall of Fame football writer.
Dan just being a dick because this is our show. This is my
He just hates.
For real.
See, Brian has a problem with white athletes. He hates all white skilled athletes. He hates all white receivers, running backs,
Clay, are you saying,
linebackers,
are you
safeties,
saying,
corners. Brian just has a thing against
Clay
white athletes.
Skilled? He's not skilled. How's a guy who...
You have to talk to the microphone. But
how's a guy who trips over his own feet skilled?
I don't care. Brian
has
a prejudice against white athletes.
This is wrong. This is wrong. This is not... He does not speak for me.
He hates every white player on the Eagles.
He does not speak for me. No, I don't. Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is a good player.
Mail.
Brent
hates...
Brent Selleck's a good player. I like Brent Selleck.
It's incredible.
Bullshit.
Every white wide receiver can't play.
Bullshit.
They all stink.
Dan. That's not true. He used to love Roman Gabriel back in the day.
Did he like Merlin Olsen too? How about damn Dumbledore?
Oh, he's an offensive lineman though. He wasn't a receiver.
Yeah, whatever. It's just like, it's unbelievable.
Chris Collinsworth, 6'6".
He hated Chad Hall. He hates Jeff Mill. Who's the other guy you hate? They're all white players.
No, they're not.
Eric Bruntlett.
No.
Most of the Flyers.
I hated Todd Stinkston. I hated Freddie Mitchell. Black.
You hate Andy Reid because he's a white coach.
Well, that's why when you look on his internet history, the search is shirtless selfies of black Eagles players.
That's right. Big black muscles. That's what he does. He gets coconut oil. He pretends he's LaShawn McCoy, and he rubs himself with oil every night.
That's right. Or Brian Dawkins.
Yeah. He has a picture of Brian Dawkins shirtless in his apartment, right above his bed on the ceiling.
So who was it that guaranteed the win?
Defensive coordinator
for the Giants. Said they're going to win this week after they gave up 38 points to Seattle.
Yeah, it's Seattle, but not an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, right. It's difficult for them to score more than 20.
And that's after they traded away Percy Harmon. They gave up 38 points to him.
Yeah, after they got rid of Harvin, who's hurt again. But
he was basically their whole offense, though, when he was there.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's going to get hurt. I just think he's going to get hurt at some point this season. He runs too much.
Well, the 38 points, were there any like pick sixes or special teams?
But the Giants gave up the most rushing yards of any team, I think, since like 1973.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. 350 yards rushing.
Yeah. Which is just ridiculous.
Whoa.
Yeah, I forgot about that stat, too.
Yeah, something like in 40 years, no one defense been that bad, and the defensive coordinator is smiling and guaranteeing a win.
That was from the old like George Hallis playbook from back in the day.
Yeah, Vince Lombardi. We're gonna make a seal here, and make a seal here, and run it here,
And just keep running it.
and that's what they did.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything about it.
And that play, I'll tell you, that one play I like is Russell Wilson when he keeps it. He's fast, man.
Yeah, but he's going to get hurt if they keep running that play. Something bad's going to happen. They run that play too often.
He had 100 and some yards again.
Yeah, I know.
It's
But
like
that's a
his
problem.
third,
That's going to be a big problem as they go through the season. They just can't. They can't try to manufacture offense that way.
All he's got to do is slide, baby.
No, I understand that, but still, just because of the running and the pounding and it's not good. It's not a good way to produce offense. You need to be able to throw, and they can't.
Big B guarantee.
All right, my Week 11 Big B guarantee. I'm going to go with Detroit. Oh, you said it's 1, right? It's 1 now.
It's 1. I wrote it down.
It's plus 1, right? Yeah, it's right now it's plus 1. Detroit at Arizona. Take Detroit. I think number 1, Arizona has a new quarterback, Drew Stanton. Which he hasn't thrown a pick yet, but I think this week is the week he's going to throw some interceptions. Detroit has the number 1 overall defense. Stanton has not gone against a defense like this. I also think Arizona has trouble rushing the ball. I think when you have a new quarterback, you have to have a good running game. I don't think they have a good running game with Ellington. And I think Detroit, now that Calvin Johnson is back, it's going to be a low-scoring game. It could be like, 16-13. But I think Detroit has enough to win, not just cover plus 1. I think they're going to win outright. It's going to be a tight game. But I think for all those reasons, I'm going to take Detroit.
There you go. There's your big guarantee. The battle of the guarantees. We're at
6-4 both.
6-4, 6-4. So let's see who can be the best guru. 6-4 is pretty good, but overall,
You were what, 7?
18,
we
21,
suck
and 1.
at 18, 21, and 1 overall with the 6-4 on the guarantees.
60% on the guarantees is pretty good, though.
Yeah, 12 out of
That's
20.
not
Well, it's not the guarantee show, though. What I don't understand is how capable you are of going 2-4, 3-4, 0-4. You're incapable of going 4-4. So you pat yourself on the back for going 3-4.
Yeah, we have
knowing that that's the best you can ever do, and that you're going to have 0-4, 1-4, 2-4 weeks. You can never go 4-4.
I know.
But when you get a 3-4, you're going to pat yourself on the back.
That's right.
If I get an 0-4, why can't I get a 4-4 week?
I don't know. Maybe this week will be our first one. You never know.
It's only 4 games. You're not picking the board, for Christ's
Maybe
sake.
if we had it was called Big Pick 6, it would be better. We had 6, 4 combined picks and 2 guaranteed picks.
I would rather stick a toothpick in my eye. Big pick 6.
That'd be great.
Oh, quick. Hurry, let's rush out and get that .com. And now your Powerball game, ladies and gentlemen. The Powerball game this week will be your Bills.
Oh, my God.
Week 11, Big Danny D guarantee. Let's have it.
All right, my guarantee this week is the game between Denver and the St. Louis, soon-to-be Los Angeles Rams. That game is the Denver's on the road, and they are favored by 9 on the road. I am taking Denver. Denver absolutely obliterated the Raiders last week, and I think they're going to really do a number on the Rams too. The Rams are starting Sean Hill this week, who stinks. One of their receivers is out for the season. Their defense is fair at best. I mean, I know they shut down the 49ers, but come on, you put Peyton Manning indoors on a fast surface. I think his guys are going to go nuts. Monty Ball should be playing this week. You know, they lost Ronnie Hillman, but Monty Ball's a better player anyway. They still have C.J. Anderson, who stepped in and ran for 83 yards last week. Their defense is good. I expect Peyton to have a big day. This could be like a 35-13 kind of game. I expect Denver to blow them out and cover this 9 easily. This line actually went up. At the beginning of the week, it was a -8. Now it's up to a -9. St. Louis plays hard and they try, but I think you're really going to see a talent disparity between these two teams, and I expect Denver to make this a unfair gunfight, so to speak. They're going with a machine gun, and they're going in with a cap gun for St. Louis. So I see Denver blowout all the way, and I think they should cover this pretty easily.
Yeah, I really wish that we hadn't had all this movement with the St. Louis Rams and Arizona Cardinals, and every week you guys got to pick the one of those teams, because it's like, to me, it's still the St. Louis Cardinals, and I always got to think, oh no, they're the Rams now, and
Yeah, right. They moved there in 1989, I think, or 1988.
I know, but in my head, I'm like, I always got to spin it around,
Yeah, I know. They were there for so long, and they moved. I remember when they moved. They played at old Sun Devil Stadium, but yeah. And then the Rams were in L.A. and now they're in what do you call it? St. Louis. Probably when you were born.
But weren't even the Oakland Raiders were the L.A. Raiders at one time, right?
When you were born, they're probably still the Cleveland Rams back in the 40s.
No, I'm talking about the Raiders.
I know the Raiders went from Oakland to L.A. back to Oakland.
Yeah, and now they're back to Oakland,
Yeah.
and it's like,
And
that stupid ass area with the Rams, Cardinals, and Raiders. Just get your shit together, put them in one place, and leave them. Damn it.
well, the Cardinals haven't moved in 25 years.
I don't care but I'm 50 years old, so you're affecting me now.
Do you remember when the Rams were in Cleveland in the 40s?
In Cleveland.
Yes, they started in Cleveland.
Are you saying Cleveland had two teams?
Yeah, well, first they had the Rams, and the Browns were actually in something called the All-American Football League, football conference, and then they joined the NFL, and then the Rams went to Los Angeles, and back around
So
1950.
you're saying at one time Cleveland had two professional football teams?
Yes. And then the Rams left.
What are they, New York City wannabes or
Well,
what?
did you see what happened with the Bears this week? They gave up 50 points 2 weeks in a row. The last team to do that was the 1923 Rochester Jeffersons, who were in the NFL. And I'm sure you remember those guys, too.
The Rochester, are you serious?
I am dead serious. There was actually
The Rochester Jeffersons?
There was a team in Rochester. There used to be two teams in Philadelphia. There was a team called the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets.
There was two teams in Philadelphia?
There were all kinds of crazy teams. I think there was a team in Fort Wayne. There was a team in Canton.
Bears. Bears. That was me.
Yeah. So, they did something they'd never done before.
So New York is the only city that's currently supporting two teams, right?
I guess theoretically, technically, I guess you could say the Bay Area with San Francisco and Oakland, but they're not really the same city. Otherwise, New York is the only city with two teams.
What is the state with the most NFL teams? Florida. Go Gators.
No, California.
What?
They're tied. California has 3.
Yeah, but
Florida has 3 also.
Yeah, but on a per capita basis, Florida wins, right?
I guess.
It's a little state compared to California. We've got 3 teams down here, bro.
Yeah, I guess even a one team doesn't really belong.
Which one is that?
Jacksonville. They never draw. It's horrible. They need to get them out of there.
Now, if it's like a weekend at Brian's apartment, does he have to... He has to come to occasionally to roll himself over, right? So he doesn't get bed sores, right?
That's right. Actually, he said he was actually planning on going to the supermarket tomorrow, if you can imagine that. I know you should brace yourself for that. He's actually going to do something productive tomorrow. He said there are no good college football games at noon, so he's going to go to the supermarket.
Oh, he's going to go to try to meet women in the produce section.
That's right. Say, hey, look at this melon. What do you have there? It's just stupid. Yeah, I like this one time he didn't make a show and you could just beat him up for
Well,
totally unproductive that day.
he was supposed to be an assistant to the assistant football coach at CB West until their entire football season was canceled due to a scandal, right?
Yeah. Wasn't quite Sandusky in proportion, but they had some kids doing stuff to each other, so they canceled the football season.
There was teabagging involved and such, and
They had what do you call it? Some kind of modified waterboarding. They were touching each other. Other weird stuff.
I mean, I think waterboarding could be fun. You know, like if you're doing it in the context of like a hazing scenario.
That's what this was, but you can't do that.
I know, but that's kind of funny to waterboard somebody.
Well,
It's not going to kill you. Nobody's died from waterboarding.
Well, they put their towel around them, then threw them in a shower and started dumping water on
I
them. know,
that's what's funny.
Well,
You're not going to die from it.
can't-
I want to see how long you can go with like breathing in the little water and like does it freak you out at some point or what?
I guess, but the problem is people sue, and they're going to sue the school, and the school doesn't want the liability, and they don't want that kind of negative publicity, so they want to fire everyone and get rid of everybody who had anything to do with it.
What's the difference between that and if I put someone in a sound booth and made that person listen to Barry Manilow for 24 hours? I mean, what's the difference? It's all in good fun.
I don't know. Barry Manilow's good.
Oh, so you're going to sit in a sound booth and listen to him for 24 hours straight?
Yeah.
Nothing but Barry Manilow?
Yes, it could be worse. It could be 24 hours of you singing whatever the song that was by Twisted Sister.
At the Copacabana, the hottest spot north of Havana, here at the Copa. You want to hear that for 24 hours?
It's better than your, as it says, better than
It's just another New Year's Eve. How's that go?
I don't know. It's better than your Twisted Sister impression. Whatever song that was. I forget what it was.
Twisted Sister. What was that?
It was like karaoke when Brian got into a fight with the DJ for his 30th birthday.
I want to rock.
Yes.
I want to rock.
That's the only part of the song you knew. The rest of it you couldn't keep up with. It
I
was too
know.
fast.
That is the only part of the song that I know.
The rest of it, you didn't know what the hell was going on.
I know. He kind of gets a little rappy there.
But it was funny. Everyone was bribing the karaoke guy to get their song played, and Brian got pissed off that you didn't bribe him so he could sing more songs.
No, nobody could suck worse than Brian's. I got friends in low places.
Yes. Yeah, that was horrible. That was so bad. The best part of that night was I drank for free. Everyone kept buying beer and I didn't have to do anything.
That's right.
Ryan kept buying round after round. It was great. And then your sister bought a round.
Well, you know what they say about Ryan, don't you?
What's that?
A fool and his money are fun to go out with.
He just wants to have Brian to have a good time. He's trying to be nice.
No. We just want Ryan to buy us beers. That's all.
He likes it. He likes having a good time. It was good. It was nice of him to do that.
No, but he was so good to do that, and I also want to mock him for that afterwards.
I
See what I'm
guess.
saying?
I don't know. I think as
See how
Brian
that works?
as Brian likes to say, you can't punch the gift horse in the mouth.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your Week 11 picks are in the books, which are trying to remember the guarantee scenario, but you are picking your Detroit Lions, which is a combined pick, correct, Dan?
No. Atlanta and San Francisco are combined picks.
Oh, the Atlanta and San Francisco are the combined picks.
Yes. The big,
And your Danny D pick is your Denver Broncos. And your Brian B guaranteed pick is your Detroit Lions.
yes.
And as always,
Score with Big Pick 4.
flying high now. All right, Dan. Well, you don't know it yet, but we're moving to Vegas. Sell your house.